Alright, so we got a video here of Red says Death again. It's about the Stellar Blade Blood Rain thing. I disagree with this. Obviously, I will agree. Yes, she's a bit young in the face, but you could say she's a baby face. This is a normal trait. A lot of female or even men have this same trait. They look really young in the face. It's not normal. But I will say this, she 1% to me. I can see her as an adult. I don't think it's that bad.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So over the past couple days, there's been
People are
lot
going to
of
crash out of it, I
discourse
imagine.
after the release.
I know As
of
of
the
Gold had a
Stellar
little bit to
Blade
say about it
Blood
too. I
Rain
disagree with him there.
trailer. Of course, a lot of people are talking about the new protagonist, Eve. And with that discussion has come a lot of wackadoos
Evie,
projecting about
right?
this character and her appearance. Now, when people start
Evie?
projecting about fictional content, it is only inevitable that one of these weirdos is projecting to a level that is not only hypocritical, but also they get outed as an actual creep themselves. In this case, we're going to be looking at a popular artist who has been outed as someone sending unsolicited photos to people, doubling down on that, and to add a little cherry on top, we have a classic your likes are public moment. Now, of course, all of this discussion goes back to the design of the new protagonist for Stellar Blade, Evie.
Whew, let me show you guys a Saul stroll fast. I mean, she's not got too much going on top. She's got a little bit of something, you know, and the suit's helping out some curves on there. You know what I mean? It's looking pretty decent, looking pretty nice, honestly.
Who people are very, very happy with overall, but there is a sect of Twitter users who are very upset about this, saying her design is predatory and that she is baiting a bunch of predators with her appearance. Now, of course, their reactions are absolutely diabolical.
It's so dumb.
They think of these things when they see this character?
It's so crazy because, hold on, let me show you something real fast.
And not only projection, but they feel the need to harass people and say absolutely abhorrent things on the internet. This is a screenshot. You can pause and read for yourself just a small tidbit of the responses. I've covered much more in a previous video, but this gives you a sense of how deranged these people are. And as per usual, it's a lot of projection. I've been getting a lot of mileage out of this art over the past couple of days because people can't stop projecting about Evie and fictional characters generally. I mean, that's kind of a thing that keeps happening. And speaking of projecting, the main protagonist of today's video is this Synapse artist, who you can see has 111,000 followers, and by their art style, they're definitely Reddit sexual. And you can see this is their post that really backfired, because this person not only has no self-awareness, they have no self-control. As someone who's been outed as a creep, according to many, many accounts, I think they should stay away from discourse like this. But again, with these individuals, they can't help themselves, and they get flamed, and rightfully so. So Synapse says this: Stellar Blade feels like every new game is an experiment in how increasingly Epsteinites you can make a game series until the public says something. Well, the public has been saying a lot of deranged individuals like this have been saying plenty about the design, saying it looks like a literal child, and they've been harassing people for simply enjoying the trailer or the character herself. But you can see the vocab here. Honestly, I think you're a creep if you have vocab like this. What normal person has terminology like Epsteinites on deck? Someone who's clearly terminally online and also probably a weirdo themselves, and a weirdo they will be proven in just a second. But of course, you can see their art style. It's wholesome Reddit chungus. They feel like they're invincible because they make characters like this. But beneath the surface, there is massive hypocrisy. So in the replies, you can see someone saying, got something to hide? Also look up who the model was for Eve. And Synapse says, another part of the experiment is seeing how far people will go to defend it and deny the obvious. It's genius, really. Well, as we know, this will be a bunch of projection, but they are trying to claim that, I guess, Shift Up and games like Stellar Blade are pushing the narrative to see how far they can go with what exactly? Well, according to this person, something very problematic. But you can see the other replies here. This person saying she looks really young, and Synapse says, the facial proportions in such a realistic art style just make her look like a child. Doesn't help that she's notably short. Oh, geez. We got a double whammy, ladies and gentlemen. We got the face of consent and we got the height of consent. This person believes if you're too short or you have a youthful face, that must be something predatory, or if people are attracted to or even enjoy a design or an appearance like that, they must be predators or something like that. This is a massive level of projection as per usual. And again, they see this character and they immediately start thinking of children. Not normal behavior. But you can see this next reply kind of looming at the bottom here, saying, "Isn't this you?" Which is always a really bad sign for an original poster when someone replies is starting off like that. So what people like this are referring to is this, where this user says, "Knew you were hiding something." And this is an account from a Twitter user saying, "Please be alert for an artist named Synapse. Sent unsolicited D pictures, continuous lewd messages, even though I try to change the topic multiple times. When given a aggressive hints, he blames me for his unwanted advances." And it gets even worse. So you start looking through, this guy has a history of calling other people predators, looking at other designs and saying that a predator designed it, which is not just slandering random anime fans, but slandering the artists themselves, and always reflect on the fact that artists like this should know better, right? You would think an artist would be the last person to call people dangerous labels over fictional content that they consume, but we see this happen all the time. Then, of course, you see the post that we just saw, and also people adding in saying, hey, he also sent his to people in many public places and lied about his age under the name Paladin Draws. Wanted to check in on him after I found this banger of a tweet. So this leads me to the next thread here provided by this individual. And this is the Paladin Draws / Synapse, same person, trying to, I guess, double down on sending people unsolicited lewd photographs of themselves.
Holy
saying,
shit.
I did one thing wrong. I lied. I wasn't drunk. I was worked up. Same thing, but still. Red flags everywhere. This person's not only doubling down on sending unsolicited pictures to other people and acknowledging it and confirming it and doubling down on it, but also equating being drunk to being worked up, which is very, very alarming. So if this person is in that state, I guess they're not accountable for their actions, and they think those two things are the same when it comes to your state of mind, which is very concerning, by the way. This person has no impulse control whatsoever. Wow. And then he adds on saying, bruh, the F you talking about? I have literally never done this stuff publicly before. I mean, I did some similar stuff when I was a teenager in private with other teenagers, but what a bunch of minors did is none of your business.
Okay,
bro, that's a very...
For any minors that may potentially be watching, I'll fucking say this right now. Do not send nudes to regard. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a minor. If you send nudes to even a fellow minor, you can be charged as a sex offender or commit a crime. Just do not do it. Just don't do it. Especially just don't do it. There's never in any situation is it ever a good idea to do this. It doesn't matter if with another minor. Just don't do it. Please don't. You'll fucking ruin your life.
Insane defense to what is being said. The level of shamelessness and just his crass behavior and attitude is astounding, but not surprising. And of course, you can see some of the interactions saying, I'm going to send a mob after you, chill. I don't have any beef. I just think you're insane. And then later on saying, LOL, you defending predators. And he says, yes, I'll defend everyone's rights, even if they're subhuman. Wait, what? This person, based on the interpretation here, is he defending predators? Actual predators? This all started from the Evie discourse, by the way. This guy with zero self-control inserts himself into a conversation where he looks like an absolute hypocrite and a massive weirdo. These are the people calling you all sorts of disgusting terms for enjoying Stellar Blade. This is ridiculous. And like I said earlier, we have a your likes are public moment. Likes are no longer public on Twitter, but the meme was still active back in the day, where I swear, this was my screenshot, I swear something like tripped in my brain. I know I've talked about this artist before. This looks like my screenshot. Maybe it's not, but I swear I've talked about this individual before. But in a deleted post by our artist here, which I'm not sure what was said, but someone replied saying, acknowledge it. And it's his likes back when they were public with adult contents of the character Megumin from Konosuba, which based on this guy's very inflammatory statements about Evie would make him a massive hypocrite. But trying to, I guess, combat whatever narrative is being said here, Synapse says, acknowledge what? And the other user says, you being a hypocrite. And that's 100% correct. And Synapse says, hypocrite about what? Seems like a cool method of drawing to me. So you think people are predators over the Evie design, but you'll copy what would be considered predatory content for yourself because you believe it's a cool method of drawing in this circumstance? Honestly, he would be better off just being a hypocrite in these situations, but it's like he keeps going and making himself look like a bigger and bigger creep each time. And it's just unbelievable. It's literally unbelievable. These people have zero self-awareness and they insert themselves in conversations where they're inviting a nuke to be dropped on their own head given their past hypocrisy and actions. But of course, he wasn't done. Whining in his own reply saying, in before petite women exist, ignoring the obvious part that her face has the proportions of a child and what it says about the developer that those two elements were chosen for her character design. Well, unfortunately for you, buddy boy, they do not cater at Shift Up to the delicate sensibilities of hypocrites like you on the internet. So you're going to be seething about this stuff for a very long time to come. And every time you do, people are going to bring up your hypocrisy and your long and confirmed history of being an absolute weirdo. Confirmed by you, by the way, because you're so brazen in your behavior that you feel comfortable enough doubling down on stuff and exposing more and more about your deranged state of mind that you clearly still have to this day. And throughout.
Here, let me show you something else real fast. Dude, I don't know the quality is so bad. There used to be another video of this here. Oh, this is actually Gone book trailer. So this character clearly from Blade and Soul has what I would consider a baby face. However, our fucking proportions are fucking pretty wild, right? That it's a normal Asian thing. I don't understand why people are trying to say that the character from Stellar Blade is like a kid. It's just not the case. That is a common face. Like there are a lot of Asians have that type of face. There are Westerners with the same type of baby face as well. I really don't understand this.
But this whole conversation is exhausting, right? You now see people saying only one of these characters looks like an adult. Let's be real, referring to even Evie, which is
dude. In some medias, I could easily see somebody saying that she's only 2 or 3 years older than her, but she's not. Dude, and most time their characters are modeled after an actual real person.
Again, we'll talk about it's denying history, but
dude, it's so crazy because people hated Eve for her original design. Now all of a sudden everybody's okay with Eve's design, and now they're trying to shit on the new design.
Evie was revealed, people were predicting that people were going to go back to Eve and say that's a good design, that one's safe and fun and not problematic in any sort of a way. But we know history. And this person's trying to promote a false narrative in the reply, saying nobody claimed Eve looked like a child. She's very sexualized design, but the bare minimum is that she's an adult. Evie is sexualized in 100% a child. Well, that's according to you, apparently is such an expert in the field here. But we know the history, as pointed out here. Sure, buddy. And it's just an example of a small bit of tweets trying to claim that Eve was a child. And some of them doubling down on
it.
Even after they found
it's so
out
stupid.
She was modeled after a real adult woman. It doesn't matter. Even when they hear the truth, they didn't care. They really didn't care. In their head makes them keep going. They keep going. They double down, triple down, and they look ridiculous. In fact, people are so desperate, they're going to Grok.
Oh my god.
They're asking AI how old this character should be. So they're basing their worldview, their morals, and everything on what Grok tells them, which is absolute brain-broken behavior. And you can see the Grok of consent. I don't have to go through all this. You get the point. People are like, well, if Grok tells me one thing, it must be true. Grok's interpretation of how old a fictional character looks. And you see how this transpires. It's not just when it comes to fictional characters. People are applying this to adults, real women out in the world.
It's absurd.
Many examples. And I saw this one the other day where Tectone was weighing in on this whole thing, saying you're basically regarded if you believe that Evie looks like
it's
a
crazy.
child.
It's crazy. This is why I don't understand.
That his fiance is basically pedo bait, that she looks like a child, and this is his fiance who's 5'10", according to Tectone.
It's crazy.
This is the level people are going. The Stellar Blade discourse with Blood Rain here is, well, mind-numbingly stupid. But also, as we can see, it was only inevitable that one of these people would be outed as a creep themselves. Many, 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 many such cases on that sort of matter. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, consider giving the video a like. Consider subscribing and turning on notifications for daily uploads and multiple streams a week here live on YouTube. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.
All right, yeah. So, like you said, the guy, he's talking all this shit, one of these guys, and he's also a creep as well. And it's understanding, like they brought up with Tectone. Tectone's girlfriend has a very petite body. You know, imagine somebody saying Riley Reid looks like a kid, because she looks very young. She's very petite. Women have facial structures. They have bodies like that. I don't understand it. Even to the fact that, and dude, I agree with Asmongold on a lot of stuff, but every once in a while, he has a shit take. And I will disagree with him on his opinion that Evie is a kid or looks like a kid. I don't agree with it. There are a lot of women. Hell, the Asian girl he was dating, or supposedly was dating at one time before, she looked fucking like you could argue maybe she looked like a kid. I really don't understand how Asmongold even like switched over to that side for sure. You know, he has that's a shit opinion. But anyways, this was a good video from Rev. You know, like I said, I think the character's fine. And as always, yes. Peace out.